Now we're live. So hi everyone, thanks again for joining us today, and thank you Charlie for speaking. Sorry about the slight delay there, just some technical issues. So Charlie is the owner and CEO, Capability Expansion Orchestrator of a number of interesting and growing enterprises. Nerds on Site, Tactical Marketing Solutions, Augusta Business Coaching, and RAF Enterprises, among others. He also works closely with several more Canadian and American-based firms. He is a founding executive board member for the Central Business District of Detroit and the Greater Detroit and Windsor, Japan American Society. Charlie guest lectured for a number of years at the University of Windsor as a part of their co-op MBA program, as well as the University of Michigan. Business operations on 5 continents, coaching, as well as speaking engagements have put Charlie in direct contact with a wide range of operations in the service, manufacturing, government, retail, and educational sectors. His general focus remains the value as well as the responsibility of the enterprising entrepreneurial contribution to both individual organizations and the global community at large.
Hey folks, sorry about that long introduction. I'm happy to be with you today, and I hope you have a passion for technology. It is by far the most pervasive of all forces on the face of the earth today. No matter what kind of nation you're part of or culture, it is incredibly important nowadays. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what we call the culture pillars of Nerds on Site. I know if you have a passion for technology, then you're busy right now. I mean, it's just the nature of the game at the moment, especially with this imposition of pandemic globally. It's become much more important for us to be able to reach out and connect and to be as close as we physically can be without putting each other at harm means that you must be using technology in a much, I'm going to call it, broader manner than perhaps you have before. So we're looking for the folks who have a real passion, who live and breathe technology, and they love the notion. They may not be experts in any particular competency field in technology, but they most definitely have a passion for, we'll call it, liberating people with technology that's available today. So we have what we call a culture pillar configuration. It's using the acrostic charge. And an old buddy of mine used to be a drill sergeant, and his comment to me was, when we train these Marines, we make sure they understand when we say charge, we don't mean lean further forward in the foxhole. We mean get up and get out. So using that acrostic of charge, here are the elements of our culture. First, the C stands for Capability Expansion Orchestrator. Confident and competent Capability Expansion Orchestrator. This is a person who's taken an inventory of what they have going for themselves when it comes to strengths, when it comes to weaknesses. They're aware. And of course, it's very hard to eliminate weaknesses, but being a good architect and building bridges between your strength pods is what the true nature of liquid learning and development, lifelong liquid learning and development, is all about. So we're looking for folks who are looking to expand those competency pods, those abilities and skill sets, and finding ways to take responsibility for doing just that, and becoming a stronger author of their future, their present day, their present week, month, and their year. The H stands for honest. We're looking for folks who obviously don't need a definition of the word and concept honest. People who understand the difference between moral strength and a lack of moral compass. So being straightforward with yourself, straightforward with clients, and straightforward with the people you work with as well. The A in the acrostic charge stands for attitudes of humility. Now, the technology field is rife with people who are true, brilliant executors. They know so much more than the rest of us about certain aspects of technology. And nowadays, our virtual university of nerdology, we have more than 350 competency curriculum programs. So we know that it's ever expanding and ever growing. But our focus is to find true human engineers who understand that they don't need to lord their skill, their knowledge, their expertise over anyone. An attitude of humility means that we approach individuals as important, and most especially clients, as queens and kings of the day. Our job is to make certain that we do right by the client in a manner that lets them, while they're experiencing it, feel comfortable. We make certain that our nerds are focused on normal speak and not nerd speak. So we don't use anything that would confuse and confound. Our job is to, instead of using 25-cent words, use a couple of plug nickel words. So communicating at a grade 7 level allows everyone to understand quickly, digest, and make good use of whatever is shared. So that attitude of humility is most important. The R stands for responsible, resourceful, and by that we do mean that you're taking charge of your own schedule, you're taking charge of your own client assessment process, your client project team build. Our job is to, under the umbrella of Nerds on Site, provide you with access to talent so that you can build a local or even national and at times international project team so that you can serve and service clients no matter where they happen to be. But making certain that you step up to make right whatever your proposals might be with the client, and to make certain that you're resourceful and responsive. The client agenda is always primary, and so it's on their time clock, on their schedule that we're working. And we're also making certain that you're tapping all the resources that are available to you to do the better in-class job. We don't use the words best in class because things are changing, being upgraded, enhanced, and strengthened on a regular basis. So whatever was best in class yesterday, there's something that's now better in class than that. So we definitely are looking for responsible, resourceful individuals. The G stands for goal and destination focused, realizing that time is the only currency of consequence. We never charge by the hour. We charge by the solution. So our job is to become more competent and effective and productive with all of our solutioning to our clients. And that means we need to have a goal orientation. We need to know where we're on track to, where we're headed for. And taking a longer view over time allows us to be able to put together solid fiscal quarters, solid fiscal years, and solid careers as well. And the E finally stands for engaging and enthusiastic. We're looking for folks who truly are in love with technology, truly are in love with what they do, and they are not uncomfortable sharing that passion and joy for what they're doing. And engaging, we pay for Dale Carnegie training and any other kind of human engineering training that allows a person to feel more comfortable. And I'm going to call it sharing inside a client environment, whether that be their large enterprise, large corporation, their SME, their SOHO operation, or even their residents. Those are the 4 key demographics that we focus on. The bulk of the business that we do is in the SME space, the small and medium enterpriser. It's the strongest of all 4 business demographics today, and it's growing at an incredible clip. So there's no end to the opportunity we have when it comes to demand. There is a nonstop request. We call it a cry for help from the marketplace. Every day we have, through our client center, new requests for service coming in. And our job is to make certain that we respond to those in a timely and professional manner. So we're focused, as I say, on the SME space, but we do work in the corporate space. We have a number of large corporate clients, a number of international clients. We have all kinds of SOHO clients, anywhere from 1 to 4 people inside that enterprise. And we do have a residential service component as well. But about 74% of our revs are really coming from that SME space. Our fixation has always been the 3 Ps: the pleasure, the productivity, and profitability of technology in the lives of our clients. So we definitely understand that first, things need to feel, sound, look, taste attractive enough for us to continue to move forward. And then there needs to be a commitment to helping me understand how this is going to help me become more productive or make things easier in my life, more enjoyable. And then finally, to see how the profitability, whatever the elements or metrics are for profitability for that client, how it allows me to upgrade my game, how it allows me to save time, save money, or even grow my enterprise. That's the focus at the end of the day for most of our clients, is getting to that 3rd P. And we have a very simple construct on how we build out. We call it the 3 N's. And it's needs assessment. Second N is normalization, bringing all the hardware and software up to a productive level. And the 3rd N stands for nerd care. And this is what we refer to as our managed service blanket program that covers off all technology need, want, and desire inside the client environment. So we're very, very focused on making certain that we become not just a first responder with our clients. We are in red. We do drive red vehicles as well, but our job is to make certain that after answering that first cry for help, that we begin to build a relationship with the client. And that primary nerd who heads up just that project team serving just that client, we want to make certain that there's a relationship between those 2 parties so that we become a lifelong player in their enterprise. In fact, the average tenure for our nerds after the first 6 months is approaching 11 years. So our team is not just experienced, but in this industry, there tends to be I'm going to refer to it as a turnover rate. But with Nerds on Site, we are focused on building a family or collegial network of team members. So we have a vetting process that involves everyone. We have a very flat organization. The founders and myself are at the bottom of the triangle. The level up from that is our administration team, very small administration team that runs our enterprises, our entire organization globally. And above that are the nerds themselves, we call them pod leaders. They're leaders in certain geographic areas, but they head up teams inside cities or areas, regions. And then at the top of our stack is the client, always on top. So we're focused on making certain that everything falls, and there aren't too large leaps between one stage and another. We want to make certain that everyone feels connected. All phone numbers and all Slack addresses are all available so that at any time, everyone is instantly and easily accessible. We're very focused as well on a very positive control system. Every nerd knows every 60 seconds we update our backend. So every nerd knows exactly what's going on with all other nerds in the company. They know what clients they're dealing with, what kind of projects they're involved in, what project team member constructs look like, and what the bill rates are, everything. We want to share that so that people have direct access to much more information than they might normally. And they have an ability to take a holiday. Not that anyone wants to get sick, but if they do, it's okay, because our program is set up so that you have a secondary. So you may be primary on 100 clients or 5 clients or 1,000 clients, depending on how you build your business out. But our job is to make certain you have support of all sorts, not just on the competency development front. Every nerd gets an IT pro access so they can take programs outside of the system as well. We pay for first year membership in BNI or the Chamber of Commerce, whichever one feels more comfortable or natural for each player. But our vetting program makes certain that everyone in the whole organization that you may be working with gets a little bit of a feel for you, gets to know you, and allows themselves to answer any question, comment, query you may have as well. Our entire organization is driven by 3 levels of rules of engagement. Our contract is not even a full page long, but the 3 levels of rules of engagement are what actually drive the entire organization. First and most important level of rules of engagement, written by nerds, are the rules of engagement between a nerd and our client. This is a definition of all kinds of little things, how we agree to work with our clients, how we agree to treat our clients, so that should another nerd fill in for you for whatever reason, they're treating that client the same way you would if you were there. The second level of rules of engagement, once again written by the nerds themselves and agreed upon, is how we treat each other. So it's a nerd to nerd rules of engagement level. And that just defines how we agree as ladies and gentlemen to treat each other inside the work environment, inside this collegial family network. And the last level of rules of engagement are nerd to NOS, nerds on site, and nerds on site to nerds. This is how you agree to work with the company and we agree to work with you. So we just want to make sure everything is above board, and we make certain that about 97.5% of all information about the organization is instantly available to you through our back end. It's called iamanerd.com. It provides access to our virtual university, all of our marketing collateral, all of our CRM, all of our central ordering and shipping process, all of the billing program. And every week, every nerd gets their share of the revenues that come in that they've generated with their client base. So it's very simple, very clean, very straightforward, but we're always looking to enhance and improve on a daily basis. We have worldwide meetings every month where every nerd is invited to join through Zoom. And we also have our pod leaders. These are the folks who are leaders in development and they're responsible for the efforts and energies inside those geographical areas that we operate in. And that's once a month as well. And then we have leader team meetings, which is top of the table players every week. And that's anyone inside the organization is invited to join those sessions. It involves the founders and myself and our admin team. And it's just, here's the state of affairs, here's how things are going, and reports from different parts of the network to find out where we stand, where we sit, what issues have been tabled, and what things we need to be considering going forward, those sorts of things. So I'm now coming close to the end of my time with you. I'm not sure if it's possible for us to actually have a Q&A. But I'm certainly comfortable with that. Should anyone have a question, comment, query?
Yeah, thanks, Charlie. A lot of great information there, and we got a number of questions that are coming through. So I'll ask them if that's okay. I don't know if you have 5-10 minutes. Is that okay?
Yep, no problem. Yep, no, wide open.
Okay, so Mohammed, just real quick, just mentioned we feel you speaking your heart. So that's really good feedback for you. Okay, so let's talk. So one question here is just the hiring process. You mentioned the website iamanerd.com. Is that where people should go to apply, or what's the?
Great question. Actually, we have a site called iwanttobeanerd.com.
Okay.
Just like that, iwanttobeanerd.com. And that gives you a bunch of video clips, and the actual application process is after you find out a good chunk of what the company's all about. So yeah, that's the best place to go.
So I want to be a nerd.com. That's cool.
Yes.
I like the concept, right? So what's the Clive is asking a question. What's the future career path for someone that would like to advance their career?
That's a great question. We're believers in, we have nerds doing very well, and we have nerds who are retired from whatever they were doing before, and now they're doing this just whenever they feel the urge or have the need. So there is no limit. We have no glass ceiling of any sort. We have no ceiling of any sort whatsoever. We quite literally have folks who join, and within a few months, they're doing, $20,000 and $30,000 a month. And then we have others who are doing a good deal more, and others who are doing a good deal less. But our job is to give you all the tools, as we're almost like a partner with you. So we take care of a good chunk of the marketing program and making certain that all the systems are set up so that you can focus on whatever that passion might happen to be. We do need front door nerds as well. These are people who love having conversations with business owners. They love answering questions. They love bringing in some of the expert talent virtually to a meeting so that common queries can be satiated and responded to. So we're looking for personalities of all sorts. We are always behind. And when I say this, we have what we call red seeds. Every single city we operate in, we have clients who are crying for help that we can't get to in a timely manner. So we have no shortage of client or market request. We have a shortage on talent response.
Right. Okay, fair enough. And that's why you're here, of course, to let people know. Ben is asking a question. Hi, Charlie. Thanks for the presentation. Can you clarify if your needs are employees or contractors or franchisees?
Good question. In Canada, they're all independent contractors. And in USA, they're all franchisees.
Gotcha. Okay, good. And then is there a location or locations that needs more people right now across Canada or into the US?
To be honest, in Toronto, we have a desperate need. In the West Coast area, and even on the East Coast in Canada, we have needs. In the States, we're only in about 17 states so far, but we're rolling out across all 50. So that's still in development, and we just opened up 2 new states in the last 30 days now. So yeah, that's a continual growth, part of our growth program. We are publicly traded, just so you're aware, and it's only the Canadian operation and the American operation that's part of the actual public company. So we're able to drive to new regions and open those up.
Okay, terrific. And Freema asks, what's the hiring process? Like maybe a very high level kind of, what are the steps? So they go to the website, they apply, I want to be a nerd.com, maybe walk through after that.
And they'll be contacted by we call him our super nerd, Blair Diabru. He'll have the first series of conversations with all applicants, and then he will in turn put you in touch with the pod leaders in the region that you happen to live in, and they'll have they always try to have a virtual cup of coffee or a face-to-face cup of coffee so that they can get to know each other well. And the next step generally is you meet the team. We have weekly breakfasts, virtual or real. Some areas are now opening up Ottawa just started last Thursday to have their team meetings face to face in a restaurant. So that's the time when nerds from an area get together and kibitz about what they're doing, and sometimes even start working on a project together. But that would be the later stages of the vetting process. And then if everyone is agreed that you are a good candidate, then you get an invitation from me. And that will include all the paperwork and all those rules of engagement that I was talking about earlier. So you get a solid feel for all the elements that are part and parcel of the enterprise.
Terrific. Mayank says, hello, Charlie. It's really great to know about Nerds on Site and the values. This model sounds really interesting. I think you may have touched it, but I just want to ask the question nonetheless. What kind of resource requirements do you cater to, and do you get requirements for IT project managers?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we do. We have a CIO, a virtual CIO program that's been part of the company. We've been a work from anywhere company for 25 years. So we have never considered geography to be a challenge. But we do have all kinds of clients that are moving quickly. And the pandemic has been certainly a major trigger in this. They have pivoted on this particular front, especially on the technology front. So they're looking for virtual CIOs. There are some of our nerds who only have 2 or 3 clients because they're large. And it takes a good, solid project team for them to manage whatever the needs are of that client. So yeah, we have a Canadian Tire team of maybe 8 people, I think. And they're running across the entire Canadian Tire network. So it all depends on the kind of work that you would like to be involved in. So we, at the local level and at the top team level, we have folks who are always willing to have a cup of coffee and investigate what your real desires might be when it comes to building a client book.
Okay, terrific. Thanks, Charlie. One more question here, and then we'll wrap up. So we'll just have another minute. But can someone in Canada work in the US or vice versa?
Yes, indeed. We have folks in South Africa working in Canada and the US. We have Australians, folks from India and Britain. So yeah, not a problem.
So this is a work from home, or they have to be on site?
Well, yeah, it would be virtual. Yeah, we don't make arrangements for visas and that sort of thing. No, the work that we're doing right now, they're part of project teams that have clients anywhere around the world, not just the countries that we're operating, but outside that as well. And we provide services. So yeah, people can become part of project teams or set up with clients project teams of their own that would require, work from home or wherever for across borders. But again, there's less and less need now for the physical capability of being on site.
Right.
We do provide on site. It is an important part, especially we have a huge incident response and post-breach management team who obviously require on site in those emergency circumstances with clients. But a good chunk has become so much more facilitated with all the advancements in virtual and video capability nowadays.
Sure. Okay, terrific. Well, thanks, Charlie. Just want to remind everybody, I want to be a nerd.com is where you go to apply. I know Blair is also from your team. He's going to be in the networking area. So if anybody wants to check him out, speak with him, ask questions about working with nerds on site as well, you're welcome to connect with him. And Charlie Regan, CEO, Capability Expansion Orchestrator, CEO, Nerds on Site. Great opportunity. If you liked what you heard, make sure to apply. Again, I want to be a nerd.com. Thanks very much, Charlie. Coming up very shortly, session number 1, Zoe, career coach, General Assembly. We'll be talking about behavioral interviews. That starts right now. Session number 2, Eric Simmons, CEO and co-founder of WorkWolf. We'll be talking about skip to the front of the applicant line, how to get hired for big bucks in tech. And that you will be able to go into those sessions by visiting the sessions area. So again, thanks, Charlie. Thanks to Nerds On Site for sponsoring today's event as well. And
Thank you.
look forward to connecting with you, and stay safe.
All right. You as well. Please stay safe all.
Thanks, Charlie.
Bye now.
Take care.